Hello, hello. Um, this video is about the Glitch Productions channel and ultimately the company, because they are a company. And this is a video about what I think of them. I know not too many people watch these videos, and I'm fine with that. I just like getting what I think out there. Obviously, it's just what I think, but uh, I'm first going to cover what I think about the channel as a whole, and the general aspects of it. But then after that, I'm going to go into the shows that they've made, being Metarunner, Sunset Paradise, and Murder Drones. And obviously their new one on what I think of that, on what little information we have. But I'll be going in the order that they've released them. But to go into it, what I think about the Glitch Productions channel and company is I have a lot of respect for them. And the reason for that is because they're managing to create animated shows about whatever they think is a good idea or whatever they want to create. And I respect that because right now, and they even said that in their update video called A New Era, it costs a lot of money for that stuff. And I obviously I don't know anything about what they do or anything, but I do understand that things cost a lot of money. Like in school, there's a class, and in that class we use something called SolidWorks. I once looked up how much it is for a subscription for that because I was curious. My God, it was expensive. And if something like SolidWorks is that expensive, I can't imagine how expensive it is to do what they're doing. And so I have a lot of respect for them because they're managing to get the money for it with the merch and all of that. And with the shows, you don't know what they're gonna release. A show like Metarunner, that was unique. A world where video games runs everything. That's something that one would not expect to see in a show. And they did it pretty good. I mean, I'll go into specifics about the show later, but they did really good on the animation. Their animations are really, really good. And you don't, like I said, you don't know what to expect. They went from a show like Metarunner to Sunset Paradise. And obviously, it was filled with a bunch of weirdly shaped characters. Obviously it's because it takes place in the SMG4 universe, but I wasn't completely expecting what happened in that show. Obviously, we did know there was going to be a show in the SMG4 universe, but not exactly what. And then you jump to a show of Murder Drones. I wasn't expecting Murder Drones at all. It was completely by surprise to me. I wasn't expecting such a mature type of show when you compare it to their previous two shows. And they have that unexpected, unknown. They have that unknown aspect to their channel and company. So you never know what might be next. And I really, really enjoy that about their channel. I mean, yeah, you may not like one show and it'll be months. Maybe it'll probably be over a year until something else comes out that might be to your liking. And that does suck, but at least they're experimenting, they're going out on other areas, maybe getting new people watching their channel. I do appreciate that they do that, because in the end there could be something for everyone on that channel. But that's general thoughts. Now I'm going to go into the specifics. Metarunner and Sunset Paradise I won't talk about long. Murder Drones I will talk about for a little bit. So, with Metarunner, I watched the first season and the first half of the second season because the reason I didn't watch all of it is because that show the story, and it just didn't really. I didn't really enjoy it, but it's a really unique story, and the animation was amazing and still is. So it's an amazing show. It's just not the show I'm into. So that's the reason I didn't finish watching Metarunner. But the first season and the second half of the and the first half of the second season was good. You know, there were some parts I really did enjoy, but for the most part of the story and just what happened, it didn't tie me with the show. So that's that for Metarunner. It's a good show, just not the show I'm interested in. And then there's Sunset Paradise. I watched the one season of Sunset Paradise that they had, because there's one season, you know, and I mean, it was an interesting show. It was, to me, it did intrigue me more than Metarunner. But this time I was right on that line of not wanting to watch it to wanting to watch it. But they once again did really, really good on the animation and the effects. Amazing on those. But there's certain parts of Sunset Paradise that, like certain episodes, that didn't intrigue me. But there's certain moments that I laughed at. Like that one guy, I forget his name, but he ran an ice cream cone. Like he ran like an ice cream concession stand. One that moves around. I enjoyed him in the show. And the ending is interesting, with the main villain going into some kind of otherworldly place, and the guy he killed being there too. But that's all I have for Metarunner and Sunset Paradise. Like I said, those two I won't talk about long. But yeah, both did an amazing job with animation. Both did. And then Murder Drones. I love Murder Drones. It is my favorite. I am anxiously waiting for the 4th episode, which the 3rd one released yesterday. And I am just... I am beyond excited to see what else is there, because as far as I'm aware, there's 8 total episodes. That means, if I'm correct, that means there's 5 left. And if 3 episodes has that much in it, I can't imagine what 5 will have in it. But to go into specifics with Murder Drones. So when the pilot released, well, I should go to the trailer. When the trailer released, I didn't watch the trailer. At this point, with Metarunner and Sunset Paradise not really keeping my interest, I kind of lost the touch with Glitch Productions for a little bit. But so I didn't watch the trailer. But the pilot came out, and a week after the pilot releases, I see it on my recommendations list, and I'm thinking, why not? I'm not doing anything. Might as well watch it. So I watched the pilot, and I'm at the point to where Uzi is at the Murder Drone lair, and N shows up, and they get in a fight. I'm amazed at the fight scene. It's an amazing fight scene, and the animation is, I want to say, much, much, much better than both the previous shows they made. It is amazing, and especially with the effects, the sound, with the effects that happen, and the sounds. It's amazing. And then once N gets introduced, I'm looking at that guy, and I'm when he and Uzi are in the Murder Drone ship, I'm kind of laughing at the stuff he's saying, and I really, really enjoy N at this point, and I still do. But then going on, and when N is killing the worker drones in the bunker, in that entranceway with the 3 doors, I'm thinking to myself, man, this guy's badass. He's badass. He's killing these guys left and right, no sweat. And that's what happened. He killed them, no sweat. And then with Khan and Uzi, I wasn't completely sure what Uzi would do next time she saw Khan, or what Khan would do, even. It really shows how N is built to kill, but he's such a nice guy because he doesn't kill Uzi because he feels bad for her. He sympathizes with her, if I'm saying it correctly. And it just shows his good nature. He may be built to kill, but he's a very good person. So obviously, the first episode with the ending fight, with the last fight, it was first episode. It was amazing, and it still is. And it definitely shows that a lot of other people love Murder Drones, because comparing Murder Drone views on YouTube to their other show views, to the other two shows and their views, it shows that Murder Drones is by far their most popular show yet. By far. And I'm extremely happy about that, because when I watched that pilot episode, I wanted other people to see it too, because it's too good not to be seen. The effects are the sounds are spot on. The animation is smooth as hell, and this everything about the pilot to me was amazing, and I wanted other people to see it. And but here's the thing: time went on. I wanted to see another episode as soon as possible, but time went on. It kept on going and going and going, and then around Christmas, around the New Year's, there's a post, a community post, or actually a video, and they explain how it'll be late 2022 for the next episode. I find it a shame that it's going to be so long, but I know a show like that requires a lot of work, and animated shows in general require a lot of work. So I just kind of waited, and obviously did whatever I did. I to pass the time, and then the next season, last season of Meta Runner is coming, and it's going, and then once it ends, I'm like, okay, Murder Drones is next on the list. And then they add a post about Murder Drones after Meta Runner ends. And I was like, yep, there we go, it's coming soon. And a few weeks later, the trailer drops for the season. And I'm there excited as hell. And I see the release date for the second episode. It's like, oh shit, that's 3 weeks from now. And so I'm there anxiously waiting. And the last week of those 3 weeks, I would have caged every day for 7 days. I would go up to my mom and I would say 7 days left, 6 days left, 5 days left. And the thing is, there was no way I couldn't give her a countdown, because we work in the same place. We work in the same building. So even when she's at work, I'm at work, and I can still tell her that countdown. And the day comes and it releases. I watch it. I had to work that day, so I had to watch it on my break. But it was fucking amazing, absolutely amazing. But the end made me sad, because N, he was down in the dumps. He did nothing wrong, but he was down in the dumps. And but then. In the trailer, the season trailer, they did say 2 to 3 months for every episode. And I figured it would be around 3 months. Because of the holidays coming up, they most likely wouldn't do anything for the holidays. So I expected 3 months. And yeah, 3 months. Third episode released yesterday. Just as good as the second episode. The animation is keeping up. However, I did notice something. from the first episode to the second episode, visuals are different. There seems to be more contrast to the show, to the videos and episodes. And because of that, it doesn't have such a creepy vibe as it once did. I did enjoy the creepy vibe, but I don't know if the visuals they had before was too expensive. Because I imagine whatever they use for that costs money. But it's still, but like the visuals changing the contrast, it doesn't really change the animation. It just changes the visuals, and I'm still perfectly. That doesn't change how I think about the show in any way. It's still an amazing show, my favorite show altogether. And he's my favorite. I have just about every piece of merch about and Murder Drones that has been released, and I have purchased the new merch from the third episode, and it any other show I wouldn't do that. Murder Drones is my favorite by far. But I've talked a lot about the episodes, but the characters. My apologies for talking so much about simple episodes, but now the characters. Uzi is a very interesting character. I don't know what to think about these strange eye things. I don't have any theories about it, because, I mean, well, maybe it's a prototype or an experiment the humans were doing before the planet core exploded. I don't know, but that's my best theory and one of my only theories about that strange eye thing. So Uzi's there. She interests me indeed. And NX Uzi, that whole thing. I ship N and V, but I ship both, honestly. If not both at the same time, but if NXV happens or NX Uzi happens, I'm fine with it, because I think both directions would make sense. And before episode 3, NX Uzi seemed not completely possible, but with the third episode, Uzi is starting to show a more caring nature towards N, and she does. And she is worried about him now, about his safety, because when N got cut up and his body got ripped in half and all that, she looked, and he put himself back together. She looked down at him, down at his body, where the cut happened, and she tells him, "Don't do that again." She cares about him, and N is finally starting to get cared for, because first episode J and V didn't give a shit about him. Second episode Uzi, yeah, she didn't really treat him like J and V did, but she didn't exactly treat him nicely either. Third episode, he's finally getting some respect, and I'm happy about that. Now, N, I love the guy. I love him. He's my favorite by far. He is an extremely nice guy to talk to, and he's a killing machine, and I just love that combination. You can never see a combination like that in shows, but Glitch Productions made it happen. Liam Vickers made it happen. They all did it, you know? And I love the guy, and like I said, he's finally starting to get some respect for once, and I'm happy about that. But NX Uzi does seem just as realistic as NXV now, because of that third episode. I love N. He's my favorite by far. But V, I do enjoy V. She has a psychopathic trait, obviously, not as much as N, but you know, she is an interesting character. She's obviously hiding something, and I do wonder what it is. And it does seem like V and N did have something back when they were worker drones. I think that they're worker drones turned murder drones, but that's my personal theory on that. But those are the three more main characters. Obviously, Doll and Lizzie, they're more main characters too now because of that third episode. But I'm not gonna make this video longer than it has to. It's over 20 minutes long, and so I'm gonna try and end it as fast as possible here. But Murder Drones, it is my favorite show, and N is my favorite. He's my favorite, and so Glitch Productions, I am really happy with their channel. I really enjoy their channel. Yeah, maybe not all shows that may keep my interest, but their animation is amazing. Their stories are very unique, and I love that about them. They're creative, and creative minds can give a lot of people inspiration for things that they want to do. What if someone watching their shows want to become an animator, or anything regarding computer science or software engineering? Like, they might see this, like, man, I want to do this. It's like, that creativity is amazing. And I love how they're bringing in people that aren't even normally in the company, like Liam Vickers. He made the idea for Murder Drones. Goose Wax or whatever. He made that, the idea for a digital circus. That show, I forgot to talk about that one. Just a simple sentence here. Right now, it doesn't look like it'll keep my interest, personally. It's way too bright and colorful for me, and too cheerful for me, but who knows? Glitch has surprised me in the past. But yeah, that's, Glitch Productions is amazing. But, this video has went on long enough. My apologies, and have a good day or night.